Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Hey everyone, Mike Hardenbrook here. Ever had one of those nights? You know the ones. You head out thinking, okay, just one drink, and somehow suddenly it's 2 a.m., and you're standing there thinking, where did those hours even go? Or maybe you've been on the flip side, waking up with that killer hangover where every single minute feels like it's crawling by, like an eternity. It's a pretty common experience, right? But here's the thing I find fascinating. It's not just a feeling. It's not just in your head. Well, it is in your head, but it's a real scientific thing happening, a phenomenon. So today we're going to pull back the curtain a bit. We're going to unpack how alcohol doesn't just, tweak your mood or make things a bit blurry. It literally actually messes with how your brain perceives the passage of time. We'll look at why those fun nights sometimes seem to just evaporate, why hangovers feel like they last forever, and what's actually going on inside your brain when the clock seems to, go completely haywire. Now, why should you care about this? I mean, besides just satisfying curiosity, well, think about it. Our sense of time, it's fundamental. It's one of our main anchors in daily life. It guides our decisions, shapes how we remember things, helps us plan. So when alcohol comes along and distorts that perception, you're not just losing track of a few hours on a night out. You're impacting your memory, definitely your judgment, maybe even how your brain processes reality itself. So yeah, if you've ever wondered where the time went or why that morning after feels like a geological age, this is definitely for you. Understanding this link, I think, is really key. It gives us back some control, helps us make maybe smarter choices. Okay, so how exactly does alcohol manage this temporal trickery? Let's get into it. Your brain, right? It has this incredibly sophisticated internal clock system. It relies on a whole network of different brain regions, all working together, hopefully in harmony. We're talking about areas like the prefrontal cortex that's crucial for planning, for thinking ahead, like estimating how long something will take. Perspective timing, you call it. Then there's the cerebellum. You probably know it for motor control, balance, that sort of thing. But it's also deeply involved in the precision, the accuracy of our internal timing. Think of it like the fine-tuning knob on your brain's stopwatch. And underpinning all this, you've got your neurotransmitters. There's the chemical messengers, the signals between brain cells. Dopamine is a big one here. Right. Now, what the science shows pretty clearly is that alcohol acts like a dampener. It reduces activity in all these crucial areas. The prefrontal cortex, the cerebellum, it messes with dopamine levels. So imagine your brain's clock. Instead of ticking along steadily, like a good Swiss watch, it starts acting like a rusty old grandfather clock, sometimes racing ahead, sometimes stalling out completely. It's a miscalibration, a fundamental one. And here's where it gets really interesting, maybe a bit counterintuitive even. Think about that very first drink. For a lot of people, there's this initial boost of dopamine. Remember, dopamine is all about reward, pleasure. So when it surges, those moments feel more rewarding, more immersive. You're really in it, more intense maybe. And when your brain gets hyper-focused on this really engaging, pleasurable now, it actually pays less attention to the linear passage of time. It's almost like your internal timekeeper gets distracted by how good things feel and just stops watching the seconds tick by. Your attention gets rerouted away from the clock. But okay, what happens when one drink turns into a few more? When things escalate? That's when we start talking about memory gaps, even blackouts. And this isn't just about forgetting a few details later. No, this is a direct result of alcohol seriously impairing your hippocampus. The hippocampus, that brain region, is absolutely vital. Its job is encoding, recording short-term memories into longer-term storage. When that system gets disrupted by alcohol, your brain literally can't form those new memories properly. It's not that you forget later, it's that the memories were never really filed away in the first place. So entire chunks of the night, sometimes hours, just vanish, poof. And without that continuous record of events, the total time you experience feels way shorter than it actually was. It's like watching a movie with huge scenes missing, right? The whole timeline feels compressed, incomplete, and then comes the morning after, the dreaded hangover. And suddenly, time does a complete 180. It shifts into this excruciatingly slow motion. Why? Well, during a hangover, your body and brain are dealing with a whole mess of issues. You're likely dehydrated. You probably got terrible quality sleep even if you slept for hours, and your neurotransmitters are all out of balance. All these things working together conspire to dramatically stretch out your perception of time. Minutes feel like hours. Simple tasks, things you normally do without thinking, become these monumental efforts. Your brain is basically fighting this uphill battle just to get back to baseline, to find its equilibrium again. And that internal struggle, that effort, it manifests as this distorted, elongated, frankly, pretty miserable sense of time. I remember reading about someone saying watching water boil felt like an epic movie during a hangover. Well, it kind of paints the picture, doesn't it? The brain struggling to find its normal rhythm. So, okay, this time distortion thing. What does it really mean in the real world? Why is it a problem beyond just feeling a bit weird? Well, first off, it can directly lead to risky behavior. Makes sense, right? If you lose track of time, you almost certainly lose track of how much you've actually had to drink. Your perspective goes out the window. And that obviously increases risks. Poor judgment, saying or doing things you regret, maybe even putting yourselves or others in actual danger. Second, there's the hit to your work and sleep. Staying out later than you planned, even just by an hour or two because time slipped away. That totally throws off your body's natural clock, your circadian rhythms. It messes up your sleep quality. And that has knock-on effects for the next day, lower productivity, trouble focusing, just feeling generally off your game. And finally, there's the emotional side. That feeling of lost time, the confusion from fragmented memories, maybe not remembering how you got home. That can feed into some pretty significant guilt, anxiety, maybe regret the next day. It can create this really negative loop that's hard to break out of. But here's the good news. Knowing all this, understanding how it works, it actually gives you some power back. You can use practical strategies to help stay grounded in real time, even if you choose to have a drink. It's less about willpower, more about giving your brain the right cues. So, tip number 1. Use your phone, set alarms, schedule reminders to just check the time. These simple external cues can be super powerful. They help anchor your brain back to reality, kind of overriding that internal clock fuzziness alcohol creates. Second, hydrate. Drink water or something non-alcoholic. Between alcoholic drinks, seriously, it's not just about avoiding dehydration, though that's important too. It physically slows down how fast you're drinking, which keeps you more present, more aware, gives your brain and body a chance to process. Third, eat something beforehand. Having food in your system helps stabilize your blood sugar. A steady blood sugar curve actually helps your brain maintain its normal functioning, including time perception. Going in on an empty stomach just makes your brain more vulnerable to disruption. And fourth, this is a big one, I think. Plan your exit before you start. Seriously, decide beforehand, okay, I'm leaving at 11 or I'm having 2 drinks max tonight. Having that predetermined cutoff point makes it much easier to stick to. It helps prevent that slippery slope where the night just kind of gets away from you. It keeps you in control. Now, what if you do overdo it sometimes? And you wake up feeling like your internal clock is just completely smashed. That feeling is a clear signal. Your brain is under significant stress, but you can support your brain to help it find its balance faster. For instance, think about vitamin B12. It's really crucial for brain energy, for clarity. Alcohol can actually block your body from absorbing it properly, which directly contributes to that foggy, lost in time feeling you get. Another thing often mentioned in this context is milk thistle. It's known for supporting liver function, helping it detoxify more efficiently. A healthier liver process might help shorten that overall recovery time. Look, this isn't about specific products, just pointing out there are ways to actively help your system reset when things feel out of whack. So let's just quickly recap the main idea here. Alcohol doesn't just blur your vision, it really does blur time itself, scientifically speaking. From those nights that seem to just vanish to those hangovers that feel like they could measure geological time, your brain is actively struggling under the influence to keep track. But, and this is the empowering part, by understanding how alcohol distorts time, you gain really valuable insight. It's knowledge you can use. It gives you the ability to take back some control, to be more present in your experiences, maybe even to bounce back faster when you do indulge. It's about using awareness to manage your moments. So maybe the next time you're having a drink and you feel time starting to do that weird, slippery thing, pause for a second. Ask yourself, what parts of this experience am I actually present for right now? And what parts am I okay with potentially letting fade away? That awareness, that simple question, gives you the power to truly manage your moments, instead of just letting the moments manage you. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in today. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.